Welcome to episode 10. We're already at episode 10. It is going fast. We're going to head over and pick up a second phone to help with filming at the table. Right now I'm just using my main phone, which is a bit awkward. It's a pretty big tell when you pick up your phone, put it in the rack, hit record. So we're going to get a second phone that's just set up. So all I have to do is press record and I can capture hands. Hopefully we'll be able to get them earlier as well. We've also made a few other upgrades. I used to have this white stand here that you've seen at the bottom left of every single hand recording, which just looks terrible. So I got this one instead, which is supposed to fit under the rail. It doesn't, but it still works great. You can't capture any of the stand in the background, so that's awesome. It is a beautiful day outside, so we're going to spend it in a casino. We're heading over to Hard Rock Casino in Coquitlam, so this is a brand new casino. I'm going to film a little bit of the outside, and hopefully it's a nice casino. Their bad beat jackpot is quad 8s beaten, and it's $500,000, so we're going to go hit that, as well as run extremely good and book our first 1K win. So, wish me luck. Off we go. How good does this sound now? I was actually talking into the back of my microphone. The part that doesn't pick up sound. I was speaking to that for the last 5 or 6 episodes, but now I got the pop filter on. It's facing the right way. Sounds good. Really enjoyed this casino in Coquitlam. The action was amazing. Players were actually bluffing. Put me in a few little bit tough spots. It wasn't too tough because we still beat some of their values, so it wasn't like blender spots, but everything went well for us this session. So many flop sets, so many premium hands. Just got there with a lot of our draws. Just beautiful, beautiful session. This is our first playable hand. We have ace-6 of spades. Button straddle is on. Definitely going to raise this up to 18, and we get 2 callers, and then the button decides to jam all in for 45. I think we can call and play, but we're out of position. There is a lot of dead money. This hand does play well multi-way, but I think with all the dead money, it's just easy decision just to jam it all in and ISO. So we do just that. Flop comes down, and now I wish I hadn't ISO'd. Comes down ace queen 9 of spades with 2 spades. Our opponent says ace is good. However, turn is another ace just in case, and river just in case. We river the flush. It's going to be a good session. All right, second hand. We've got 2 limps, and we've got ace of spades, jack of hearts in the cutoff. Gonna bump this up. I raised up to $20, slightly larger than normal. I'm experimenting a bit bigger bet sizes pre-flop to try and cut down the super multi-way action, but we go 3-handed, which is pretty nice. Flop comes down king 7-4 with 2 spades. We got the backdoor nut flush draw. King high flop's pretty good for us. When it checks to us, we're gonna bet pretty small here. $20, and we get heads up with a hijack who makes the call. Turns pretty good. Ace of clubs. So now when it checks it over to us, we can start value betting here. We're going to size up a little bit here because we want to get all in on the river. So $70 here. And he makes the call. Off to a river. Nice save to a diamonds. Checks it over to us. And we're going to go for the max. We ship it all in. Thanks for a little bit. But I don't think he's going to hang on with what I assume is just a king here. And he makes the fold. Alright. So there's a $16 raise from the low jack. We've got ace jack suited in the big blind. At higher stakes, this would definitely be a 3-bet, I think. But at these low stakes, stacks are a little bit shallow, and people only raise, quite premium hands. So we're just going to call, play a little bit defensively, and the limper also comes along. So we're 3 ways to a beautiful flop. King 10-10, 2 clubs. We're going to check and go for the check raise. Unfortunately, low jack does not comply and checks it back. Turn does not improve our hand. It's a 6 of spades. We're going to check it over with the intention of check raising again. And it gets the low jack, who does bet $20. Nice small bet. We're definitely going to raise it up here. I don't like my size. I went 65. In the moment, I was going to go 80 or so. But I just defaulted to 65 for whatever reason. I do like a much bigger sizing here. And he does make the call, which I wasn't really expecting. And then off to a river, which surprisingly is one of the few times we don't get there. This hand is just terrible removal. We want him to have ace, jack, for queen jack. We want him to have clubs, so we are going to give up here. We check it over. It quickly bets 100. So looks like if we got there, we might not have even been good. Might have been trapping us. So good to get away from this one. We get the fold. All right, we've got pocket nines under the gun +1. Definitely going to raise this up. We go to 15, a little bit bigger than normal. Folds round to the big blind who makes a call. So heads up to a flop. Comes down 9-6-4 with 2 hearts. That is set number 1 of the session. Checks it over to us. We're going to bet small, $10, and he makes the call. Off to the turn, which is the ace of spades. Not really the card I wanted to see. It's going to make it tougher for him to continue with a 6 or a 4 here. He checks it over to us. We want to get stacks in. So I bet around $35. This will set up a nice river shove, but unfortunately, he does make the fold. Okay, we got 2 limps and we got jack 9 of hearts in the cutoff. We're going to raise this up to $20, a little bit larger than I normally do. Big blind comes along, and then the original limper just jams his $75 stack into the middle. Hijack gets out the way, and back on us we have a decision between, I think, calling or jamming. I don't think we can fold with all this dead money, and they're only calling 55 to win a pot of what will be 185. I think I want to call, and then big blind, I don't think they're going to re-shove, but if they do, we can get away. And I don't mind letting them in while we're in position with this hand, because we still need to get there, right? So I do decide on a flat rather than a shove, and big blind actually makes the fold. So we're all in. King deuce deuce, no help. Turns to 3 of hearts, no help. And 3 of diamonds, I don't think jack high is going to be good. And our opponent table's ace queen suited. Nice hand. All right, not too long later, we look down at pocket aces. Under the gun +1 is raised to $10. Mid position has called. We're definitely going to bump this up. We raise it up to $45. Folds back to the under the gun +1 player who makes the call. Middle position, surprisingly, actually folds. I'm all right with that. And we go heads up to a flop, which comes down. Queen 9-5 with 2 spades. A little bit connected. There's a flush draw out there. We don't have a spade, but I'm not that worried. He checks it over to us. We're going to bet very small here. He doesn't have too much behind. It's like 2 SPR. So we bet $25, and he makes the call. So off to a turn, which isn't my favorite card. It's a 10 of clubs. So the board's getting a little bit dicey. I still think we have the best hand here, and SPR is getting really low. I'm not folding. Chucks it over to us. We're going to bet really small again. $60, less than half pot, and he makes the call. So off to a river. There's the 3 of diamonds. He checks it over to us. Nice, safe river. We're going to jam for value. If we're beat, we're beat. So all in. He tanks for a little bit, but makes the call, and we are good. Nice. Ooh, it's pocket nines. Button straddle is live. Small blind has completed. We are under the gun, and we are going to bump this up to $25. And it goes pretty multi-way. Middle position calls, and so does the button. The small blind gets out the way. So 3-handed to a beautiful flop of Queen 10-9 rainbow. Normally I would bet around $30 here, but I think the board is just very connected for these 2 players that there's a ton of queens and 10s they can continue with, tons of jack X that are going to have to continue. So I use a pretty large exploitive sizing here. These 2 players are a little bit deep, so I make it $60, and I think this is a mistake. I should have just played my normal strategy of 25, 30-ish, because they both take a little while, but they do both fold. So we're not going to get paid on our set here. Okay, so under the gun +1 has raised. He's a little bit of a tighter player. I expect this to be a pretty strong range. Low jack is called, and we got king 10 of hearts in the hijack. Definitely not wanting to 3-bet this and get jammed on. So we're just going to flat in position, and everyone else folds. So off to a very nice flop. 8-7-6 with 2 hearts. And the under the gun player does something, I think it's a little bit of a mistake. He bets 25 here. While his range is going to be mostly over pairs, because his opening range is very tight. It's tighter than my 3-bet range. So he should most likely be checking here. He bets 25, low jack folds, and we're going to put him in what I thought was going to be a difficult decision for him. We're going to raise it to $75 and doesn't think for too long and just ships it. So I guess it's not really a tough spot. We call, turns awesome, turn the straight right away. As if that wasn't enough, we're going to river the flush as well, because that's just how today's going. Okay, facing a limp, we got pocket 10s. You know the drill. We're raising this up. We get a call from the button as well as the small blind, and the mid position player, the original limper, also calls. So 4 ways to a flop. It's all right. 6-5-3, 2 diamonds. We flop an overpair. Checks to us. Gonna bet pretty small here, $20. And the mid position player thinks for quite a while and then makes a call. Off to a turn, which is a really bad card. The king of diamonds. He's floating with anything like king, queen, ace, king. I don't know why you'd have ace, king, but if he's floating, his king got there. Diamonds also got there. He checks. We're just gonna check this one back, play some rivers. And river is the 9 of spades, so pretty good card. But he just jams really quickly. I think 10s with a diamond we can call here, but I don't know. If we call 10s, we're just calling a ton of hands here. So I do lay it down after thinking for quite a while. And he shows us ace 8 off for an absolute nothing burger on the flop. Floats the turn, bluffs us off on the river. Very well played. Nice hand, my man. Okay, you got Jack 9 suited first to act. Definitely going to raise this up to $12. And goes down to the hijack, who does a very small 3-bet to $30. I think it's big blind. No, small blind overcalls. Big blind gets out the way, and this is just an amazing price. $18 to win. What is that? Like 93. Yeah, we're calling here with a Jack 9 suited. Flop comes down pretty sweet. Queen 10, 4, 2 diamonds. We flop an open ender. 6 of our outs are clean. We checked out his original raiser, and he bets pretty small, $30. I really like the sizing. And we both call. Of course I'm calling. Turn doesn't improve us. It's 6 of hearts. Small blind checks. We check it over, and hijack sizes up a little bit here. Bets about half pot, $90. Small blind goes all in. And we are just getting such an incredible price here. This is like $133 to win a pot that will be $580 something. What was that? Yeah, so 130 to win 580 is like 4 or 5 to 1. It's well over direct odds that we need. If you consider that all 8 of our outs are good. So we toss in the call. The door's not open. Hijack can only call, which of course he's going to do. And we're off to a river, which does not improve us. The flush does get there. There's no point bluffing to a dry side pot. We check it over. Hijack checks back, and small blind had king queen with the king of diamonds, and hijack had ace queen with the ace of diamonds. So we are not going to win this one, unfortunately. All right, we got the pocket queens. Middle position is open to $10. Hijack is called. We're going to bump it up, $45. Folds back round to the original raiser, who puts in the call, as does the hijack. So we're 3 ways to a flop, which comes down pretty nice. 7-6-4 rainbow. So no flush draws. We still have an overpair. Checks it over to us. We're going to bet 1/3 here, $45. And middle position check raises big. 175 to go. Folds back to us. And this is essentially an all-in. At River Rock, I would just snap fold this against most of the 1-3 regs. It would just go straight into the muck. I wouldn't even think about it. But it's tough here. I think he's definitely got a pocket pair with a raise 10 and then call. I don't know. For some reason, when they raise 10, it's always a pocket pair. So he could have pocket 5s here, which isn't even that great to call off because he's still got like 40% to win. But he could also have a hand like 8s, 9s, 10s, or jacks that just want to get the money in before overcards come, because your perceived range at 1-3 is ace-king 99% of the time. That is what your opponent's going to put you on every hand. It sucks if we're wrong, though, because 7, 6s, and 4s are crushing us. But this is a really big sizing, and I don't think he chooses this sizing with a flop set on such a dry board. So I've decided I'm going with the hand. We stick it all in because he's never folding. He calls, and the board runs out. Deuce of spades, 7 of diamonds. That's a really nice card on the river. And he shows us pocket 5s. So glad the read was on point there. I don't think we could fold, but nice to get that one down. Okay, this is only a few hands later. The undergun player has limped, and we have ace 8 of diamonds in mid position. You know what we're doing. We're raising this up. And we're going to go 4 ways to a flop with the small blind, the original limper, as well as the button, which comes down amazing. Ace 8-4 rainbow. Checks to us. Sometimes a top two on a very dry board I like to check, but we're four-handed, so I'm definitely going to put in the bet here, make it pretty small, $20, and everyone calls. I'm very worried about pocket fours now. There's only two aces left, so like, we're running out of hands that these people can have. However, turn puts that to rest. It's another ace. The run good continues. Checks again. We're going to start building this pot. We're going to bet. We're going to size up a little bit here to 75, about half pot. Someone has an ace, they're going to call down. Button makes the call, and the other two players fold. So, off to a river, which comes down the deuce of hearts. We still have the nuts. We're just going to go ahead and ship it all in. He thinks for quite a bit, but tosses in the call. Definitely good here. Good to pick up yet another pot. Alright, the under the gun player is a recreational player. He's limped. We're definitely going to ISO with ace 10 off. Make it 15, and the hijack calls, the button calls, the small blind calls, the big blind calls, as well as the under the gun player. We're going 6 ways to a flop, which you never want to see with ace 10 off until the flop comes down. King 10, 10 with 2 spades. We just can't miss a flop. This is insane. Checks to the big blind, who bets $20. Folds around to us, and with the spade draw out there, a few flushes, and as well as kings that can call a bet, we're definitely going to raise this up, make it a bit more of a normal sizing relative to the pot. So we bumped it to $95. We don't mind getting all in with the big blind. Hijack tanks for quite a while. He's like thinking it over, but ultimately decides on a fold. Folds back to the big blind, who instead of shoving just flats. I thought I'd put him all in, but he had $30 behind. We're going to turn. No matter what it is, I'm going all in. Turn, though, is the king of diamonds. That sucks. It does not look like we're going to win this hand. And he donk lead shoves all in for 30. We're not folding. You got it, man. River is the 3 of spades. And our opponent shows 9-6 of spades for the rivered flush, but that is no good. Should have saved us $30. The hijack actually said that he had ace-king here. I don't know if I believe it. That's an insane fold on the flop to $95. That's less than the size of the pot. I don't know why he didn't raise me pre-flop, but he just said you always have it, man, so I don't know if I believe him, but whatever. We're going to scoop this one. Pretty happy to do that with the lower end of the full house. Alright, so we have ace 6 of hearts. The button straddle is on. Small blind and big blind have completed. We're going to bump it up to $30. The button calls. So does the small blind, and the big blind gets out the way. So three-handed to an okay flop. Ace 9, 7 rainbow. We got a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Checks to us. We're just going to check this back. There's no point betting here. Our hand's not strong enough to get 3 streets. Button, who's a player who said they folded ace king last hand, goes ahead and bets $60 here, which is a very big bet for an ace 9, 7 rainbow. Alarm bells are ringing. You know, I think I should just fold this to this bet. If this player is folding ace king, like, and then bets 2/3 pot on this flop, we're never good, but I just call. Just gonna peel one off. Turn is pretty good. Jack of hearts. We pick up the nut flush draw as well. We check it over to him, and he bets again. Very big, 125. We're sort of getting priced in here. I think our 6 could be good. I think our ace could be good sometimes if he's got a hand like 9, 7, as well as our flush is definitely gonna be good. But we're definitely behind here. I don't know, I could go with a fold. I could get behind a fold, but we toss in the call, and the river is the queen of clubs. We check it over to him, and he goes, oh, man, you got it. And then checks. And we show our hand, expecting to be good, but he's actually got ace 9 of clubs. He wasn't trying to slow roll, he just meant that he thought I got there on the river, or the turn with ace jack or ace queen, but ace 9 is definitely going to win this hand. Alright, so in this hand there is a little bit of table talk. The button player has just introduced himself to me. He's a really nice guy, but it's a little bit friendly. We got a button straddle on. The big blind is completed. Hijack is limped. We got pocket jacks. Gonna raise it up. $30 to go, and only the button calls, who is Tony. Tony, if you're watching this, hello. It's really fun playing with you. Flop comes down really nice. Jack 9, 3 rainbow, and he goes, oh, I got something. I got something too. We're gonna bet pretty small here, $20, and he makes the call. Turn is ace of clubs. Not really what I wanted to see. He says, "Ooh, that's your card." I go, "Kinda." I'm definitely gonna want to start checking here. I would do the same with kings, queens. Yeah, kings and queens. So it's nice to have a strong hand in here. It also allows him to start bluffing with hands like 10-8 or queen 10, or just turn like a pocket pair into a bluff. But I think betting is also fine. I check it over to him and he bets decently big. It's half pot, $55. I just want to set the trap, make the call off to a river, which is my least favorite card. It's the king of clubs. So check it over to him and he wastes no time at all and overbet jams. Thing with overbet jams, these are never bluffs. Never, 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 never ever bluffs. This sucks. Queen 10 got there. Backdoor clubs got there. 10-8 of clubs got there. Just, you could have 8-7 of clubs here. There's quite a few hands. 3-4 of clubs. There's a lot of flushes that he can have here when he bets turn. Calls flop, bets turn, jams river. The hand as strong as jacks, though, with the club, we are blocking a ton of his strong hands, and he could possibly have pocket threes or pocket nines here. And if you're beating some of his value, you have to call. So after thinking for a pretty rude amount of time, I'd say, with a flop top set, we toss him the call, and he goes, "You're good," and shows us pocket threes. We set him on the flop on such a dry flop, and we still had a difficult decision on the river. But glad I didn't fold that hand. We're going to get paid on this one for an $850 pot. Okay, this hand is extremely interesting. Our opponent in this hand is a very stand-up guy. I really like the way you act in this hand. I'm just coming back from the bathroom. The dealer's like, "Hey, do you want to post?" As I'm sitting down, she deals my card in. I'm not exactly sure the pre-flop action. I just know Under the Gun has $30 in. He's a player that I really want to get involved in pots with. Next player is called. I don't know, button straddle might have been on. I just wasn't aware. We got pocket eights. We're going to make this 10x big blind raise. We're going to make this 10x big blind call. And the big blind also makes a call. So we're 4 ways in a very bloated pot. And of course, we're going to flop a set. Why not? What is that? Our third set of the session. 10-8-6, all diamonds. So we are losing to 7-9 and pocket 10s, and as well as flushes. Big blind checks. Under the gun player checks. So we're probably in the clear. And we are going to start betting. Monotone boards want to bet quite small. I bet $40, and the big blind shoves all in. Folds back to us, and if he's got a smaller flush, I think he'd play it this way. It's kind of gross, but we got to set. We got to go with it. So I call. Turn is the 9 of diamonds. Our opponent now tables his hand. He's got ace of diamonds, 7 off, so he's got the straight and the flush. And now the river comes down, the 6 of spades. And he shows his cards. And for some reason, I thought the board ran out 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 on the river. So I thought it was just straight, and I go ahead and take my hand and I put it just before the betting line face down as if to muck and release. And then someone goes, "You said you had a set. You win." And the dealer's counting his chips, and I look at the board and I'm like, oh, I do have full house. So I table my hand, and the dealer goes, "No, it's too late. Your hand is dead." I go, that sucks. I mucked the winning hand. And I always table my hand in all-ins. This is the first time I've ever not tabled my hand in an all-in. The other player, however, sees this and goes, no, it's his pot. I don't want to win like this. But I also don't want to win like this. This is, this is just not cool. And the dealer's like, no, it's you. You have to pay. I'm okay with this. I'm going to pay it. But he once again says no. No. And I go, how about this, man? We just null the all-in. You win the $120 in the pot. Take back your chips. You're up 120, and I only lose 30 in the hand. The dealer calls over the pit boss because she doesn't want to be in trouble. It's fair. Pit boss says, "Hey, if you guys agree to this, I'm okay with this." So I only lose $30 this hand. He takes down the 400-ish in the pot. I guess 120 in the pot. And yeah, really happy with how my opponent handled that. He could have just taken my stack and I think most people would. But in all fairness, if the roles were reversed, this is exactly how I would treat the other person. So pretty big mistake for, that's a $400 mistake, but live and learn. All right, we have got a ton of limps. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 limps. We have Jack 10 off on the button, and we do something disgusting. We over limp. Ugh, I'm just disgusted with myself for even thinking about this. Usually I use these hands to ISO on the button, like raise it up big and try to get heads up. But this table, everyone's getting very deep. Like almost everyone has like 800 plus. And no one is folding pre-flops. So this is just lighting money on fire if I want to raise a hand this week. So I just over limp. Small blind raises to $15. Under the gun calls, middle position calls, hijack calls, cutoff calls. And now I'm going to throw away another $12. This is why you don't limp. But the flop comes down ace, queen, king. We flop a straight. First time I ever limp and I flop a straight. What a joke. Small blind bets out really small, $30. I love that sizing. Under the gun ships all in. Amazing. Middle position hijack and cutoff get out of the way. I'm not going to slow roll him. I just announce all in. And the small blind thinks it over for not too long and then tosses in the call. So beautiful, beautiful. Turn is safe. It is the 7 of clubs and the river. No heart, no ace, no king, no queen. Deuce of spades, beautiful. We have the nuts. We're not chopping with anyone. Small blind had ace king. Under the gun had ace queen. Very strong hands. Yeah, that's insane. Okay, we're playing our final orbit here. We've got king 6 of clubs on the button, and we are once again gonna over limp. Disgusting. Big blind checks it, and we're 4 ways to a flop. Really sorry, guys. It comes down king 6-4. I flop top 2. The under the gun player bets out $10. This is the guy who had ace 7 versus my 8s, and only we make the call. We could raise, but we're just gonna set the trap. Turn's pretty safe. 10 of spades. He bets 25, pretty big. We are gonna spring the trap now. We make it $75, and he goes, "Oh, do you really have another set of 4s?" No, but it's pretty nice to hear that. And he decides to go all in. We make the call, announce we have 2 pair. He says he also has 2 pair, so I assume he's got king 4 or something, or 6-4. River's a 5 of diamonds, and he shows king 10 for the turn 2 pair. So we're 1-1 in these limp pots. I'm not going to make that a habit. I'm very happy this pot's going to this guy. It's really nice of him to not want the pot, even though I think most people would have taken it. But that is going to wrap up this absolute insane session here. Oh boy, I wish every session could be like that. We had aces 3 times, kings once, queens twice, jacks twice, where we set over set someone with one of them. We had pocket 10s, we had pocket 9s twice, both times flopped a set, pocket 8s twice, once flopped a set, disaster hand. 7s, 6s, 5s, ace king suited twice, and just getting there every single hand. We started today with $2,395. We're in for 400, out for $2,109 for a win of $1,709, bringing the bankroll up to I think $4,104. Huge result. Love it. I'm gonna go enjoy a beer, catch up with some friends. I'll see you guys on the next one.